Whoa, oh, oh. Da, 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 oh, oh, oh.
Hey there, this is Patricia to share my December Memories Traveler Notebook size, very chunky album here. My binding started out as a really pretty Coptic stitching binding, but it outgrew that real quickly. I have done a traveler's notebook size. This was a couple years ago, but this stayed true to 1 through 25 days on, each day was on each spread, whereas this was not. I did not even stay within December. I started in November, and I didn't stay in order, and it's definitely not each memory on each spread. So it became very chunky, not but just because of that, but because I did use a lot of foam adhesive and I used a lot of embellishments. Because my album started as a Coptic stitching, I created 5 signatures. It's basically groups. So I had white cardstock and then I filled it with pattern paper. I had to then change it later, and I cut all of those folded pieces to have its own sheet and punched holes. Then I used a paper clip to help me thread that ribbon through so that I could tie it. Each cardstock page has a die cut circle to start it off. And as you can see, all of the pages pretty much, or most of them, are the pattern paper. I really worked with the pattern paper using the embellishments and stickers and changing the size of the photos to black and white. I just really worked within the design of the pattern paper, which I don't normally start off creating with, but I really do love the texture. Here I use the alphabet letters to work into the pattern paper. So you'll see little things like that throughout. And you see a little bit earlier I had used some of the Illustrated Faith Print and Pray products. Most though is my stash from October Afternoon and lots of wood veneers. Later on, I really did put a nice little dent into my October Afternoon labels and journaling cards. So I got to pull in some of the new Elle Studio January kit tags and some of the new add-ons like the stamps and the die cuts. And I really love how well it went with this album, and it played so well with the products from the October Afternoon stash that I had. I also have some old Gossamer Blue labels, stickers, some Studio Calico, maybe here and there, some Heidi Swap. It's really just pulling mostly from my stash. And it was just really fun. It was fun to get creative. Like here's another page that I got creative with the pattern paper and the embellishments. And it was a fun, very, very fun album to put together. The difference between this album and some of the other December albums that I've done, besides it each day not being on one spread, I don't have heavy techniques. I don't have like little confetti pockets made or a little bit more creative stamping. Well, I did do some stamping here, but it's not really heavy on some techniques. So see here at the circle, I thought maybe I'd get a little creative with that, but I really just used it as a peekaboo. And sometimes I think that's just more fun. I didn't want to take the fun out of this. This is a journaling card I want my daughter to fill in later, so I have that tucked there for when she's ready to tell me and remind me of what she had on her note to Santa. And so this is just a fun way to use your stash. This is some more Illustrated Faith products, Print and Pray products there. It's a fun way to really dig in and use that stash. Here's some of the new Elle Studio, and oh my goodness, I think this is actually my favorite page. It's a nice clean spread, even though it has that busy background pattern paper. I love large photos like this, and this one needed to be that orientation. This one I trimmed down. It was my one little word from last year. I trimmed that down for the top and the bottom, and then just filled the pattern paper there with the wood veneers.
I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree, and I've lit my house with Christmas lights, so you should come back home to me. And when we wake up in the morning, I'm gonna play those carols that you love. We'll be singing all the melodies until the sun comes up. These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close. Forget about everyone else.
I'm so happy to use some of these beautiful wood veneer pieces I've had and been holding on to. There's some more Elle Studio. That one square piece with the stars, I'm so glad I finally found a home for that. And I love these last few pages. I pulled in, like I said, a lot of the Elle Studio. I don't really like the ribbon coming out of my head right there, but I can change that later. It wasn't intended because that's not originally how it was supposed to be with the binding. This story stamp with the Elle Studio labels worked perfectly there. I love that look of the grid, more Elle Studio stamping and die cuts. I love the layers of the October Afternoon chipboard pieces. And the Elle Studio tag and die cut there. I just love how this album came together. It's been so fun to flip through. Thank you so much for joining me and going through my walkthrough of my big, chunky Traveler's Notebook December Memories. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.
It's supposed to be making our Christmas memories.